Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeffrey Curtis, and I am here to let you know that this is the very first episode of DGW Danger Zone Podcast with the first guest, Simon Mack.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day here in the Danger Zone.
DGW. Danger Zone Podcast is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first ever Danger Zone Podcast. This is a podcast that's going to be letting you know what's happening in DGW in the future, in the past, that's what already happened. And we have our first guest right now. We have the golden boy, Simon Mack.
What up?
Alright, first off, Simon, I have a question. So, at your last show, which is Danger's Dawning, you were in a triple threat match, correct?
Yes, our last big show.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
You lost in the triple threat match.
Yeah.
And so, how do you feel about that?
Well, I was kind of caught off guard with Corey Foster spearing JTM, taking him out of the equation, and then as my attention was on him, because he kind of shocked me there, I get turned around into a Mac upcut, and Big Mac knocks me the hell out, and I just had no choice but to stay down for the 1, 2, 3. But if I was to meet Big Mac one-on-one again, I would beat him, because last time I met him one-on-one, I did beat him back in December.
Alright, so are you going to have another opportunity to go against Big Mac for his title?
Well, I'm not afraid to admit that I've been on a little bit of a down spiral lately, losing to the likes of Kevin Bradshaw, John Bryson, and this past week losing to OB. So maybe I need to work my way up again, work my way back up the ladder before I get another title shot. Maybe it'll be against Big Mac. Maybe he'll lose it by then, but it won't take me long to get back in the title picture. I can ensure that.
Alright, and another thing, you have a new show, or a show that's coming up, and it's in a few weeks, isn't it?
This weekend, this Sunday, February 8th, is Battle for the Briefcase.
And what are you going to be doing in the show?
Well, I want to first officially announce that we will finally finish this feud with the faction of Dominance and the Grove Mafia, as my team, the Grove Mafia, will take on OB, Kevin Bradshaw, and Big Mac, the faction of Dominance, in a 3-on-3 elimination tag match. That'll kick off the show. And also in the main event, you will also see me once again as I try my best to climb the ladder and get the number one contender's briefcase, which, if I get that, I'll have up to a year to cash in. So you asked earlier, when will I be back in the title picture? I'll actually be back in it next week, because I'll be getting that briefcase this Sunday.
I like how you're already assuming you're going to win, but, I do that a lot. And most of the time I'm usually wrong, so are you 100% sure you're gonna win your match?
We'll wait and see. I'm not sure who all the contestants are in the Battle for the Briefcase ladder or scaffold match, but I know I've been announced as one of the contenders, and I'm pretty confident.
And another thing, it's kind of off topic, but JTM has recently been coming out with face paint on, and he stopped. Do you know why?
Well, if you I guess you haven't watched the last show. It was just uploaded last night, but he was wearing it again.
I did not get to watch last night's show. I didn't even know it was posted yet.
Tim was defeated by, or no, he actually won by disqualification, action thing. Attacked his leg, his knee. I'm not sure if he's going to be out for a while or not, but it didn't look good.
Did you have a match last night?
Yes, I fought OB, and I lost.
You lost. You've been on a losing streak lately, and
Yeah.
that's what's making me a little iffy about you saying that you're most likely going to win the battle for the briefcase match.
Yeah, well, I'm collecting myself, as I did mention in the show yesterday. Maybe the Grove Mafia is holding me back, but tomorrow, or this Sunday after the Grove Mafia does what we have intended to do since we came together, and that's take out the faction dominance. Once that's done with, I don't really have to worry about them holding me back anymore, because it'll be back to solo for Diamond Mac.
All right, I'm going to get into some deep career questions here. How long have you been a backyard wrestler? All right, sorry for that little pause, but you were saying, I asked you how long you've been a backyard wrestler.
Well, I started just October of 2013 when DGW started up, and it's only been about a year and a half, and we're already arguably the top backyard wrestling federation on YouTube, or period at all.
And I noticed you guys were on ProWrestlingBlogger.com.
Yes, that was a link sent to me by someone. I was kind of felt accomplished by it.
I thought that was really cool because you guys are the very first backyard wrestling organization to be on there, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yes.
All right, and what made you want to be a backyard wrestler?
Well, I just have the dream of one day being a professional wrestler, and backyard wrestling, they say don't try it at home, but it's basically gotten me to where I am today. It's gotten me wrestling at live shows, much like on February 22nd, for those in the Baton Rouge area, I will be wrestling at Russell Jones' kickboxing show. Shout out to him.
And I watched your last live show you had. You were going one-on-one with RAT.
Yes.
That was a very intense match.
What is that?
That was a very intense match.
Yeah, and this time it'll be the same. It'll be me versus RAT with the addition of Talladega as we go in a triple threat match in front of a live audience. Baton Rouge.
And you stated last time, I think it was on one of your social media accounts, that you said that there were a lot of people in attendance.
Yeah, there was over 100 people in attendance. We expect a lot more this time, due to the show has been being promoted for a while now. The last show was only promoted for a few weeks, and this one's been promoted for a few months. So we expect a lot more this time.
All right, and I have another big question for you. I watched a lot of your matches. You jumped off of the scaffold, you went through flaming tables, and you fall on your neck a lot, on your back a lot. How are you still alive?
Well, it's just the fight. I keep pushing it to the limit because I want to put on a show that no one will ever forget. That's my goal every time I wrestle in the danger zone.
Do you have to go back in the back and put ice and heat on your body, after every match? Are you, sore all the time?
Yeah, sometimes you pay the consequences, and sometimes you wake up feeling like shit, but it's all worth it when you're doing what you love, man.
All right, so, Since this is the very first episode of DGW Danger Zone podcast, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to be on one of the future episodes of the Danger Zone podcast soon.
Definitely seems like a good little extra show we got coming up. So yeah, I would very much enjoy being on a future Danger Zone podcast.
All right, and I don't know if you said you had some things you wanted to say on the podcast. I don't know if you got it all out already, but are there some things you wanted to say?
Well, yeah, I wanted to announce that I already have announced. I just wanted to say the Faction of Dominant versus the Grove Mafia match will be the kickoff match to Battle for the Briefcase as me, Talladega, and RET are looking to take out the Faction of Dominance once and for all. This is going on for too long, and we plan on putting an end to it finally.
I saw on the DGW Instagram page, I believe, that the Faction of Dominance attacked you.
Yes, what you're referring to is OB pulled a fast one on us at the last show. Not yesterday, but the last show. He did a little bit of teamwork. Big Mac's music kit. I turned around and I got an O-bomb delivered to me as OB ran out of the danger zone like a little coward. But yesterday, when I called them out for this match, they came out, they accepted it, and then we got into a big brawl lasting for maybe 7 minutes, and it ended with Big Mac and OB flipping the trampoline on top of me and RET. But yeah, but there's definitely unfinished business, and we put an end to it this Sunday. Battle for the Briefcase.
Wow, and Big Mac was not at that show according to the caption in that picture, correct?
Correct. He hasn't shown his face since Danger Donning until yesterday when he came out and helped OB when me and RET started whooping his ass, and then later on in the show he answered the challenge, he accepted the challenge at Battle for the Briefcase, the Grove Mafia versus the Faction of Dominant.
Alright, and I noticed that you have a new general manager for DGW.
That's right.
And he is the general manager because he has a broken neck, correct?
Yeah, Chris Kickass Jones. He was on his way to the top. He was climbing a good ladder. He was performing against me, and I delivered a mat clash, which he did not take very well. His neck landed right on the mat, and he almost broke it. And because of that, he decided he didn't want to take any more risk, and he didn't want to wrestle anymore. So the job opened up. We've been needing a general manager since John Bryson stepped down, so that job opened up, and he took it.
So he didn't actually completely break his neck. He almost did it.
No, he sprained it pretty good there.
And I don't know, but all of RAT's followers on Instagram might have saw that he posted something saying that he almost broke his neck.
I'm not sure when this was.
I think it was the other day. I don't know if I'm getting this wrong, but I saw a video where he got dropped on his neck.
Oh, okay, yeah. Paxton Payne made his debut, and RT wasn't able to knock that big-ass man out. He delivered a major choke slam to RT, and then later on a major powerbomb, probably the most powerful powerbomb we've ever seen in the danger zone. And yeah, RT was feeling that the next day, as you would believe.
So he almost broke his neck, kind of like Chris Jones did, but he got back in action.
Yeah, well, he didn't almost break his neck. He was just figurative speech, I guess, but he definitely felt it the next day, as I said.
Okay. And what is the worst injury you have came across in your career?
Jumping off the scaffold, I've suffered bruised ribs. I've sprained my ankle before. Nothing ever too serious. It takes a lot to keep me down.
Yes. And you still came back. So, honestly...
Never left yet.
Yeah, you really love this, don't you?
Yeah, there's a reason I'm the face of DGW.
And who is the owner of DGW? I know there's been, like, a lot of people telling me different answers, and I've never got the same answer from anybody.
Well, a man by the name of Ben Jones. He's only shown his face once, but on camera, he's just behind the scenes, but he is the creator and owner of Dangerous Grove Wrestling. His name is Ben Jones.
Did he have anyone help him create it, or was it all him?
Well, back in 2007, maybe, something like that, there was a federation called Insane Wrestling Federation in Louisville, Mississippi, where myself and JTM used to live, and then we moved to Prairieville, Louisiana, and JTM, along with Ben Jones, formed Dangerous Grove Wrestling out of Insane Wrestling Federation, and made it what it is today. So JTM had some help in there, but Ben Jones is the owner. We'll just say that for now.
All right, and what made John Bryson drop down? Why did he want to quit being the general manager?
Well, he had been in development for a while, and he showed good progress, and he finally felt that he was ready to move on to the main roster and do big things as a wrestler. Because they had faith in him. I don't give a damn about him, but they had faith in him that he could be a good wrestler. So they gave him the chance, and apparently he's excelled so far because he is the Crossfire champion, and he's 4-0 against me, so I can't say much.
Yes, and okay, so in your next live show, when you're going to go in a triple threat match with RAT and, did you say JTM, correct?
RAT in Talladega.
Talladega, yeah, okay. How much do you guys have to pay to get into those buildings and wrestle with them?
Well, they found us, so they pay us, don't pay them.
Oh, they pay you to come to wrestle in their buildings.
Well, we've done it for free, but if they did pay us, then we wouldn't turn it down. But yeah, you know.
So why don't they do it more often?
It's a kickboxing show, and he likes what we do. So the man who runs the show just lets us kick it off with a wrestling exhibition, a professional wrestling exhibition.
And this one will be on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I'll do my best to get one of our cameramen to go and record.
And who is the voice behind the announcer?
It's Curtis Love, man. It's Curtis Love. You gotta love. You got Curtis Love. You got John Lehan, and you got Jeffrey Johnson.
Because
three-man. That's the three-man announcers. Sometimes they aren't here, and someone fills in the position. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not wrestlers behind the camera. It's real people have real jobs, have an actual job to do. If you're a wrestler, then you wrestle.
And the referees, though, the special guest referees, they're usually you have like about 2 referees, correct?
Well, Chris Jones, the general manager, he's also taken the job of full-time referee.
Is that going to risk anything for him if he gets involved being the referee?
Nothing's happened so far, and I'm sure he trusts us. I mean, he's a man with the power, so if something is to happen to him, he can just fire somebody, I guess.
True. And I was watching a match of yours where you were standing on one side of the ladder and you got pushed off onto a table stacked onto a table. And your foot is the only thing that caught the table?
Yeah, the paint holder on the side of the ladder that I was standing on broke, preventing me from falling through the two tables and falling straight down. Tried my best to go through the two tables. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that I didn't. I guess it's less impact for me, or actually harder impact, but fucking who cares?
Yeah, true. Because if you fell through it, you'd feel a lot more pain. But I think, looking back at it, you fell right on your back on the ground.
Right.
Doesn't that cause a lot of pain?
No, it does. Like I said, you feel it in the morning, but when the adrenaline's pumping, you just want to keep going and try to get the win every time you're in the ring.
And you have told me before that other people from professional wrestling have watched your shows before.
That is correct. We've had guys contact us about professional training, which a lot of us will begin professional training in a close-by place in New Orleans, Louisiana, called Wildcat, as soon as we can. And there's other small promotions that have seen us, but a lot of them are just too far away for us to go right now. But we definitely, a few people in DGW definitely look out for them to make a burst onto the independent scene in years to come.
All right, so you are 17 years old, correct?
I'm 16 right now, but I will be 17 very soon, yes.
Okay, so don't you have to be 18 years old to join a professional wrestling organization, or is it 16?
Well, 17 is the age for me to start training, where I'm going to be starting at.
And when you start training, are you going to keep DGW going, like in your free time, or are you just going to are you going to stop doing DGW?
Well, DGW will still be going, but as for me, who knows? I might just make it full-time, professional, and ditch the backyard, but DGW will remain alive.
Will the Wildcat Sports match, which is the Wildcats is where you're going to be going for professional wrestling, as you said, are they going to be on any platform that anybody could watch?
I'm not really sure how they run. I just know about their school. I'm not sure what I would have to do to actually get booked for them. Probably would be a while before I actually got booked. But once I do, or if I do, I'll find a way to get the videos. And they also have a YouTube channel, Wildcat Sports. You can find them. Just search it.
All right, and are there any big names in professional wrestling right now that were once at Wildcat Sports?
Not that I know of. I know they have a feud with Booker T's school, ROW, Reality of Wrestling. So Booker T and a lot of his trainees have traveled here to wrestle. I've witnessed those events in person. I know Orlando Jordan. I think he part owns it or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah.
All right, and so you're going to be kind of hoping you're the first one that's going to get out into the big professional wrestling, right?
Yeah, I hope to work my way up the ladder, no matter how long it takes. Eventually, I want to be at the top, yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say this because backyard wrestling is, well, they always tell you not to do it. But what we do is we do it so we can get known, right?
It's helped me, I can tell you that. As much as you're not supposed to do it, it has helped me.
I mean, it is dangerous, but it is fun.
Right. I'm someone that if I see something I like, then I want to do it. I don't want to just watch it like football. If I'm watching football, I want to go play football. It's the same with wrestling.
And I noticed from your Instagram page you are a Hail State fan.
Yeah, I'm a Mississippi State Bulldog fan. Yeah. It's my home. I'm from Mississippi.
Oh, you're from Mississippi.
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay, so I'm gonna get into some like detailed stuff now. That's gonna go kind of personal. I noticed some of these DGW superstars are like related to you.
What is it?
Some of these DGW superstars are related to you.
Yeah. We don't always let it known on camera, but a relative of mine would be JTM, Maniac, and the Enforcer. They're all three of them are relatives of mine.
I thought I kind of knew JTM was, but I wasn't for sure.
Yep.
Alright, and I had a question, and it just like went right out of my mind. Like, I forgot what I was going to say. But, do you know the plan for your next big show after Battle for the Briefcase? Do you know the name of it or anything?
I'm not sure. I won't be able to tell you, but I'm sure it'll be announced the week after Battle for the Briefcase.
Do you come up with these names and show dates?
Do I come up with it?
Yes.
Not all the time. Everyone has a say so, but everyone is allowed to pitch their ideas. We always mix it up a little.
Do you think anytime in the future that the faction of Dominance and the Grove Mafia will like become like friends instead of becoming enemies, being enemies?
Who knows? I mean, just like every great faction, there will be an end to each of them.
Yes. And Big Mac is the leader of the faction of Dominance, right?
Yeah, you are DGW World Champion.
And you are the leader of the Grove Mafia.
I guess you could say that.
Well, when you guys, which I'm not saying it will happen, but what if you guys had the Grove Mafia versus the faction of Dominance, and loser, like, their team's gone?
Well, that's the whole point in the Grove Mafia coming together was to end the faction of Dominance, because we are three men that when they formed, they targeted us. Their goal was to take out all the top stars in DGW. Why would you want to do that? We make this show what it is, so we came together to take them out, because, you know, people who are trying to take out top talent, they don't deserve to be here.
Yeah. And I have about maybe one more question, and this is one that I like. Okay, so how did you come up with the nickname Golden Boy?
I didn't really. It was never really a idea. Just one of the first shows we ever did, I came out, and Curtis Love behind the camera, he said, introducing the Golden Boy Simon Mack, and it just stuck. It never left. It always stuck, and I guess it just kind of goes with my good looks and my cockiness, honestly. But that's all I know about it.
All right, and I was watching some of the videos back when you had a feud with Corey Foster.
What is that?
There was like everything involved. You guys used pretty much everything in your backyard.
So back in the old days.
Back in the old days, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's when we were just starting out. We were just a trampoline fed. You know, we didn't really like that. We built a ring, and the ropes didn't really hold up, but we kept the base. And I like what we do now.
Yeah.
With the trampoline dragged up on the base for actual contact, you can feel something out. I've wrestled in wrestling rings, and that base hurts a hell of a lot more than a wrestling ring.
I can tell, but how did it feel going through that table on fire?
You know, it's been a while, but it was kind of a fear. But you know, when I'm out there wrestling, I I just kind of say fuck it to a lot of things and just let it happen.
And I don't remember who it was. I think it was Talladega that tried going through a flaming table and he got his shirt caught on fire.
Yeah, it's back in November, Deathmatch, DGW's Deathmatch, our most hardcore show of the year. It was the first ever Deathmatch, Talladega versus OB in a 2 out of 3 flaming tables match. They both went through the first one, and they were both on fire, running around the yard like crazy, trying to get it off of them. And then, so they both got a point for that. And then the last table, I think Talladega, I think he powerbombed OB through a flaming table to end the match. But yeah, something like that.
I think you guys got a little bit smarter, and because when you went through the flaming table, you guys had a guy throw water on you right afterwards.
Yeah. I don't guess it was really thought out all that well when they did it.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all the questions I have for you today. We're already about 30 minutes into this, and I think that's about all the time we got.
All right. I look forward to doing it again, and I think this will be a good addition to DGW. Let the fans have a little bit of insight. But yeah, Danger Zone Podcast, people.
All right, and check out their next show, which is Battle for the Briefcase this weekend, February 8th.